All In Sports Network. We love sports.
Coming to you from the land of brisket and barbecue, Lone Stars and Longhorns, this is All In Colts, presented by the Unstable Blues.
Welcome back in. This episode is all Bears. Chicago will be visiting Indy, and we will discuss our keys to the game, matchups to watch, and our all-in player to watch, give you our prediction on the result of the game. So let's go, All In Colts.
I'm Kevin. This is my son Liam. We are the Unstable Blues. Happy to present All In Colts as part of the Rogue Media Sports Network.
Yep. Matt Eberflus is removed from the defensive coordinator for the Colts.
Yep. Shane knows DeAndre Swift, coached with him in Philly, and also coached Keenan Allen back in the day with the Chargers, and faced Montez Sweat twice a year for 2 years in Philly.
Yep. And we thought the Colts had a front-loaded AFC South schedule, but this is the Bears' third straight AFC South game and second straight game on the road. So They've played – who have they played? They've played the Jags,
Titans and Houston.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Right.
Yeah. They just came off of Sunday night in Houston.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So they come to Indy. Just down I-65, just past Purdue, and just come on down.
Yeah.
I was thinking it'd be pretty unique
close.
if they met at Purdue and played like a neutral site game in a college stadium. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be cool.
Especially
but
like growing up.
It's an NFL game. There's not enough play.
But it'd be a different kind of atmosphere. That's all I'm saying.
It would be, but still.
All right. Man, potato.
Yeah. Okay, let's go. Normally,
yes.
I do my keys to the game first.
Okay, I'm going first.
Keys to the game. Yep.
Okay. I see. Reason I always go last is because I have a long list of stuff, and so I never want to steal anything you want to talk about. But you have your stuff. So here we go. It is an offensive head coach versus a defensive head coach, and if you look at the makeup of the team and what's been done so far, just in 2 games, you can definitely tell that. It's just how the cookie crumbles. You could definitely see that's the case. Number one for me, this should be no surprise. I hope I'm not stealing your thunder, but stop the run. Stop the bleeding. Stop the running. Stop it. They have a rookie quarterback. I know he's Caleb Williams. I know that, but that they don't want him to throw it more than he has to. They want to set him up for success. The Bears have not rushed for over 100 yards yet in this season. I know, 2 games, but they still haven't rushed for over 100 yards. Don't let this one be the week, right?
Yeah.
And then this happens sometimes with some of these more creative quarterbacks. Pressure, contain Caleb Williams. Pressure, but contain. You with me?
Yep.
Make him make plays from the pocket. They want to get him out on the edge. They want to do rollouts. They want to do bootlegs. He's better with that. So keep him in the pocket, right? Don't rush too far up and let him out, right? Pressure, contain.
Yep.
Set that edge of the pocket. Their O-line struggles. Don't make this the game where they look good, right? They are young, inexperienced. Make them look like that. We don't know yet if this is possible. Release Latu if he is able to play. I want to see him redo what he did to Caleb Williams when he was at UCLA. Release the man and let him go, right? Let him track down Caleb Williams because we know from at least the college film, he can do it. Here we go. You ready? Protect the ball. Take the ball.
There you go.
And this is something that has been a struggle in the first 2 games, right? They came close on 2-3 different opportunities to take the ball away, interceptions against Houston. Didn't really have many opportunities, took one away, but then gave up 2, 3 with the Hail Mary pick that we're not counting. But it counts in fantasy. You can go back and check that out yesterday and yesterday's episode if you want. If you want to see all of the fantasy stable for the Colts. We've already talked about that. We're moving on. So if you want to win the game, you win the turnover battle.
Yep.
You're almost guaranteed to win the game if you take care of the ball and if you get the ball out, right? I heard somebody say this week, don't think of it as a ball. Think of it as the organization. Think of it as the city, as the fans, because that's how much the city and the fans care about it. You got to protect that ball like it matters a lot more than just a ball to you.
Yeah.
Protect it like that.
Mm.
Care of it like that. With Buck out, here's what I would do. I'm gonna run 3 edge and 1 interior.
Okay.
I'm not gonna even mess with a whole lot of Anatomy Adabare and Anatoni. Anitoniwa Adabare. Got it. Taven Bryan, like they are a anyone's a large step down from Buck, right? So my starting 4 would be Grove, Taekwon, Dio, and Quiddy. And I'm going to rotate as many edge as I can in there as I need to, as I want to. If Grove needs a break, I'm going to put big old Raekwon Davis in there for that. And there might be times where I am going to run 4 across edge because I want to be able to get to Caleb Williams. The Houston got to him 7 times and sacked him. And Caleb Williams was still a couple plays away from winning the game, maybe.
Yeah.
You got to get pressure on him, but you also have to contain him. Cannot stress that enough. Watch the bubble screens, watch the jet sweeps. They're going to want to do that. They're going to want to get DJ Moore the ball as best as often as they can, and that's going to be one of their ways to do that where they don't have to throw it to him, right? Just quick toss. Caleb Williams has one of the quickest snap to pass times in the NFL right now. So when you're on your rush, what you're going to do is what? What am I going to say?
I don't know. Put your hands up.
Put your hands up. So, like, when you rush the quarterback, make sure to have active hands, right? Because he's going to want to get the ball out and get the ball out quick because he's got playmakers. If he can get the ball to him. If you get your hands up, you can't do that. So, obviously the goal is to get to the quarterback after the first goal of stopping the run. But if you can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up because that's almost just as good.
Yeah.
Let's see. Protect. Their defense is really good. Let their rushers get upfield and open up running lanes, right? Sweat is going to want to get upfield. They're going to want to get their guys up in Anthony Richardson's grill. So let them go, right? Let them go and open up the running lanes. Anthony's got to make the correct calls on the RPO game. Hasn't consistently done that. This should be a deadly weapon for the Colts. If you have weapons like JT and AR at your point of attack, and you can read that conflict defender correctly, and you can bait them. Sometimes you have to bait them a little bit more. Almost gave him a problem with that fumble against the Packers. So he stuck it in there. JT grabbed it and squeezing on and tried to pull it. But read it well because that should just be a backbreaker for your defense, because if you read it if you read it correctly, you should have 2 or 3 options at that point.
Yeah.
If you don't, all of a sudden you're down 3 and you're behind the chains just like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Utilize JFD, Josh first downs, and the tight ends in the middle of the field. I believe that this is going to be available, especially even more so with Josh first downs. I believe that he is a huge key to this offense, running, clicking, doing whatever it needs to do, because he's so shifty, because he can read space so well. And I believe that also opens up opportunities for the tight ends, because all of a sudden, if Josh first downs is killing us on, 5, 6, 7 yard gains, well, then there's a lot more of attention, right, in the middle of the field. And then all of a sudden, Kylan Granson can go down go down 6 and sit and go. And he's got easy catch,
Mm-hmm.
Couple more. Balanced offense leads to opportunities both in the run game and the big shot passes.
Yep.
It has to be balanced. You cannot forget about one or the other. And that leads me to the last thing I'm going to say, which is you cannot allow or expect AR to play hero ball. He is only in he's entering his 19th game that he has played since high school.
Yep.
You cannot put it all on him. You cannot expect him to do everything that he's certainly capable of doing at this stage in his development.
Mm-hmm.
The defense has to be better in support. The run game has to be better in support. Your receivers have to run better routes and be more open and catch the dang ball when it comes to you. Your job is to catch the ball. You have to catch the ball.
Yep.
You cannot put it all on his shoulders. He's not there yet. Once he runs his rookie contract out and he makes $75 million a year, sure, then you can put it all on his shoulders. That's the expectation. That's not there yet. You shouldn't expect it to be there yet. Just because he's an alien, aliens can abduct you and do weird things to you. So, no. Do I believe in aliens? That's for another time. Kevin's conspiracies. Okay. Your keys to the game now. Hopefully I didn't take everything. I think you got at least one.
Yes. Run the ball and keep running the ball.
Yep.
And an extension of the run game, like we say, is the screen game. I talked about it in yesterday's episode and the fantasy episode. Jonathan Taylor is a good receiving back. Use it. Whenever he's in, he does not have to pass block or run the ball. That is not what he has to do. Be available for checkdowns and stuff.
Yeah, that play that the Eagles ran right at the end of that Saquon dropped? That's a good play. Play action to the back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fake it to him. They come down, but then he sneaks out. Nobody's there to cover him because they all just collapsed. That's a good play.
Yeah.
That's a fine play to utilize, not even as a check down. First option.
Right, exactly. And then on the defense side of the ball, you said it already, eliminate the run. And the screen game is a beneficiary of the run game. So eliminate the screen game. Eliminate the side-to-side movement. Like you said, pressure contain. Send blitzes at Caleb Williams. He is a rookie. All rookies tend to not do great under pressure. Send blitzes, send pressure, play, and then trust your guys to be able to trust your secondary to hold them up until the blitzers get there. Because it might take a couple of seconds, but you got to trust your guys. You can't have – I think that's one of Gus's big problems is he doesn't trust the secondary enough. So that's why he doesn't blitz it as much.
Why would you?
What?
Why would you?
I get it. But, I mean, they're proving themselves recently. As of right now,
I wanted I wanted all of the Colts, the local Indianapolis media, to show up with Patrick Peterson jerseys on, just to just to mess with Shane. Just all show up in the same, like, I don't care if it's Vikings or Cardinals or
whatever it is.
what, Steelers, right? And play for
Lots of teams he's played for.
I don't care. Just everybody show up in a Patrick Peterson jersey just to say, hey, you know what? Heard there's this guy who's out here that might be available. Bring in for some veteran support of some kind instead of our number one cornerback being a 7th rounder.
Yes. But and then on offense, doing that run screen game will open up a lot more things. I think that is the focal point of our offense, and I'm fine with it because we have a freak of nature quarterback that can run really well, and we have a really good running back as well. Use Josh first downs if he is able to play. Use him, and then don't be afraid to use all of your tight ends. You have a ton of them. Use every single one in whatever they excel in, and take shots. Like, you have Alec Pierce, who has proven himself really well as a deep threat. Take shots to him. Let him thrive. And then get Michael Pittman the ball. Get him the ball. Let him work after the catch. He can break tackles. He's a long, lengthy guy. He is good at what he does. And Adonai Mitchell, you need to stop giving up on the plays. If you look at Alec Pierce last year, there was a point in the – I don't know if this was what it was at the end of the season, but there was a point where he had run the most yards, whether it be side-to-side yards, forward, backwards yards. He had ran the most yards with and without the ball in the NFL. Be okay not getting the ball, but still selling the route to one or two guys. Like, if you give up on it, okay, the corner's going to be like, okay, it's not going to you. I'm going to help somewhere else or something like that. So be okay just running the route and not getting the ball. It's a team game. There's no I in team. And then more on the defensive side of the ball, I wouldn't mind a couple QB spies every now and then just to kind of let someone sit in there. And I get our safety shouldn't be the one leading in tackles. I mean, Nick Cross, keep tackling people. Maybe do a safety blitz every now and then, like throw some secondary on a blitz, something like that. So,
yeah, according to Gus Bradley, they got better when in the second quarter against the Packers when they got less fancy. They actually went to 3 linebackers instead of nickel and just went base, and they played quicker because they weren't thinking as much.
So was Kenny in then, or was he out?
Yeah, they moved Kenny outside.
Okay. Interesting.
But, yeah. Like I said, Patrick Peterson is available.
Yep.
He's out there.
Yep.
He's free agent. Just pick him up.
So what are your matchups to watch?
All right. I didn't know if you were going to go first. I will. Okay. All right. Kylan Granson versus TJ Edwards.
Top tackler in the league in TJ Edwards.
Top tackler. Can he stick with Kylan Granson coverage? JT versus Tremaine Edwards.
Yep.
Got to get that motion once again. It's your O-line that gets you to the second level. It's your job to get to the second, third, and past that. AR's eyes versus Kevin Bynard.
Okay.
I don't know that his eyes are there yet. He's still just progression 1, 2, 3. I don't know if he's quite, and I mean, what I said, it's 19th game. I understand why he's not there, but can we work this a little bit where you can look the safety, look this way, trust that you got who you got, where you got them, when they need to be there. It's the 3rd game of the season. We haven't seen it like all that's there yet to even be able to do that. Can we start? Can we just one play where we look off a safety so we can have the better shot on the post, right? Something like that. Can we do that? Can we develop that? Pitt or Pierce against Jalen Johnson. I'm not sold who Johnson's really going to be. I'm not sold that he doesn't just stay on one side, and therefore the Colts actually utilize that to their advantage, where and some of that is we'll see how the game goes on. If they're going to follow Pitt everywhere, okay, no, well, now we can manipulate that to put Pearson in a good situation, right? Or we can manipulate that too, where we can isolate Jalen Johnson, however good he is, where he's one-on-one with Pitt, and we can, do the formation accordingly, right? So I'm not sold exactly who Johnson's going to be on, but that's our top two receivers as it is right now. So that's my matchup. Big one. Braden Smith versus Montez Sweat.
Gotcha.
I believe, correct me if I'm wrong here, the left defensive end is against the right tackle, correct?
Left defensive end.
Because you're talking about left as in defense, right?
Yep, that's right.
So he's coming front side, Montez Sweat, which still baffles me. Montez Sweat should be coming from your blind side. But
yes,
they might rotate. I don't know. So I'll throw in Bernie here too, Ryman. Our tackle's got to be able to lock Montez Sweat up. You can't let him have a day. Because if he starts having a day, then the rest of the defensive line can start feasting. If you can at least take care of Sweat, then you got a chance against some of the other guys.
Yeah.
Here we go. A three-fer. EJ Speed, Kenny Moore, Jalen Carlisle, or Ronnie Harrison. There you go. Four-fer versus Cole Kmet. Obviously, it's not going to take all four of them, but Cole Kmet can do some stuff. And he can be dangerous if you let him. So don't let him, right? Don't let him. Find a way to figure out where he's at and make sure someone is on him the whole time. Dallas Flowers versus DJ Moore, if that's what that is. Jalen Jones versus Keenan Allen, if that's what that is.
Keenan Allen's out, by the way.
It sounds like he may be back. It sounds like he may be back, and that could be dangerous. The Colts tackling. Okay, so not a specific player, but their ability to wrap up and bring down DeAndre Swift / Herbert. Both of them decent at what they do in running the ball. And as I said, I'm going to keep this up until this gets fixed or it's fired. And that would be Gus Bradley versus Shane Waldron, the offensive coordinator for the Bears, who has had some success different places he's been, most recently in Seattle Seahawks. So how can our defensive scheme work against their offensive scheme?
Yeah.
What about you?
See, you kind of took a lot of the ones here. It's fine, though.
Sorry. I told you.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm going to go a little bit about JT. JT versus the defensive line of the Bears. We know they have a pretty solid defensive line, but can he find the holes? Can he shoot the gaps? Can he get his feet up? He talked about getting his feet up while going to the line to make sure that he doesn't get swooped up or what's it called? Laces tackled or something like that. And then can he get to the third level against TJ Edwards? Can he get past that linebacking core of the Bears? And then I think once he gets into the secondary, he can do some dirty work up in there because he is a very shifty running back. He's, I think, a lot faster than people assume out of him.
Yeah, but he's also got power if he needs to run people over.
Exactly.
Safeties and corners, yeah.
And then AR, the eyes just against the whole secondary because I think if you're able to look off somewhere and then find someone like a check down to JT or something that they aren't expecting. And then I think, kind of as you said, Shane versus who's the head coach of the Bears?
Eberflus.
I'm blanking. Yes, him.
Matt Eberflus, yeah.
The offensive mind versus the defensive mind. Because I think the head coaches will have a big say in what goes on. And I don't want Shane to make any stupid mistakes, like putting Trey Sermon in on a 3rd-and-1 option play whenever obviously it should be JT. And then I think, yes, Kylan Granson versus TJ Edwards, but also Kylan Granson versus the safety, or Will Mallory versus safety, or Ogletree, or Mallory Cox, whoever is in at tight end. I think is going to be a very big factor in this game. And then Josh first downs as well, just on whoever's going up against him, finding those gaps in the defense, sitting in them, or doing his route, shaking his corner off of him to get that 1 yard, 2 yard spacing that he needs to be able to make a big play out of something.
Yeah. All right. Why don't you go first here?
Okay.
All in player to watch.
All
Who
in
are you
player to
all in
watch. I'm gonna say AR. I think a lot of things will go right if AR can get the job done, and if he can make the right reads and not turn the ball over.
All right. So you're about the hero ball that I said you shouldn't, but that's okay. It's all right. It's okay. It's all right. It's fine. It's fine. Some people listen, some people don't. It's fine. You're going to be shocked by this one. Much as we've been talking about this the past day, even 2 days. We've been back to the fantasy episode on this one. Josh first.
Oh, wow.
Downs.
So surprising.
I know. Now, he may not be back, but I think he's going to be back. And I know, your first game back, you're still shaking off some rust, but I think he's going to shake off some rust and some defenders and some tackles. And I think we're going to see some first downs, because I think another big thing about this game is to continue to be on the field.
Yeah.
Right? You have to stay on the field. You can't you can't go 3 and out like you've been going, but also explosive plays are great, but man, when you have 3 play drives because you had a huge touchdown pass, that also doesn't help your defense out. Josh first downs. I'm okay if he gets Josh touchdowns too, but let's go Josh first downs, and let's keep the offense on the field and keep it clicking, and let's go, get 4 yards every play and just keep going and keep moving the chains, and get 9, 12, 17 yard or 17 play drives the whole game. I think that is and I think Josh first downs can open that a lot up. Even if he can get a few passes, I think it opens up a lot of things for other people as well. So Josh first downs would be my call. Prediction time.
I think if it ends up being a defensive battle, I think the Bears win it. But I think it's going to be more of an offensive battle this game, because that is, I don't know, kind of how the Colts tend to have their games. I believe that the Colts are going to get it done. 24-13.
All right. Defensive battle, still scoring 20 or offensive. Sorry. Wow. Colts are going to hold them 13. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Colts have been a bend don't break. I will give them that. They haven't actually allowed a ton of points. I mean, 29 against Houston, but
that was just kind of a shootout game.
Yeah. I'm going to say, and I don't really have any backing to this necessarily, but I'm going to say that the Bears are going to win it 24-23.
Okay.
To me, I go, that's like a cop-out money line stat kind of deal. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give the Bears the 1 point game, and I can't exactly tell you why, but I think that they just have a little bit more, and I think they want it a little bit more right now. They want to do it for their quarterback, whereas we just watching our quarterback.
Mm.
So that's what I think. Oh, well, that's it for this week. We will be back next week with, you can see how we did in our recap of the Bears game, preview the Steelers game, as well as our update from the South, unstable pick six, and fantasy stable.
This is Liam,
And this is Kevin.
reminding you to stay all in Colts.
All in Sports Network. We love sports.